So that direct had me all like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. All this stuff. Ah! Hello lovelies, it is me Gent. I am back with a reaction to the Switch 2 Direct. And boy oh boy, if I must be honest and just get it straight out of the way, this was pretty good, I must say. A lot of really interesting things were introduced and talked about. So I'm just like, ooh, now I'm really curious of what else they can bring to the Switch 2. This was actually a really exciting Direct. I put it off for like, because I didn't watch it straight away, I was at work. But I was savoring this moment to watch the Direct, and this was pretty exciting, I must say. Good gracious, there were just so many things that were announced that I think is pretty awesome. And we'll just get to straight to what I think were my favorite announcements for the Switch 2. So I think the main one, of course, is Mario World, or Mario Kart World. Like, the fact that you can just go to different places, like, with the cart is kind of awesome. That's just, like, unheard of for the series. And it sounds like they're really ambitious with its scope, and how they're going to maybe change up the gameplay and change up how you play Mario Kart. That to me is like maybe the most exciting piece of news for the Switch 2, and I'm really happy that's like the launch title of the system. That to me was a really smart move, and I think it's like, yes, this is gonna be really cool. And one thing that actually really stuck with me with the Direct when I watched it was that I actually think the hardware ideas, or what it actually features, is kind of awesome. I like the mouse mode, and I like all the upgrades. Like, it even said, and I think this is a brilliant idea, a brilliant thing they did, was that they actually built the Switch up from the ground again to include all these big adjustments and improvements. That to me, I think, was the solution to a lot of people's kind of, I guess, criticisms of the system being a bit maybe underpowered, but also being a bit, maybe the resolution just being a bit low. So I think that is the solution. They just redid the whole thing, and now Switch 2 is more powerful, runs smoother, and sounds like it's going to be even more of a cool gaming experience. I also think that these hardware features, I think, is actually really impressive for a handheld console. Like, I know you can put it on the TV, of course, but like when you play it in handheld mode and it has all these, like, the camera, the voice chat, all that to me is actually really cool and really impressive compared to the first Switch. That to me is like, what an improvement they made over the first console. Like, this is cool, and it's almost a selling point. But to me, like, I would need to maybe have just a few more things to be like, to convince me to buy it. Because it's like, yes, it's solid, but it's like, how about maybe just a few more features to really sell me on the system, to maybe spend a bit of money on it, or invest a bit of my of time into it. And so it's bringing a lot of third-party games, like, of course, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is, you know, cool. But I've already got it for the PS5, which is like, well, I don't really need another copy of Remake, but knowing that more people can experience it is cool, and I'm definitely intrigued as to what maybe Nintendo players think of Final Fantasy VII, and more things like Cyberpunk 2077, Elden Ring was a surprise, Yakuza 0 was another surprise, loads of cool things, Silksong. It's so far really cool, just announcements and games that are coming to the system. So yeah, I'm actually really impressed. So I think one thing I saw that was interesting, but I'd still need to learn more about it and of course experience it with the system, is mouse mode. And it's gonna have a few games and features or software for this kind of mode, but I'd still have to, I think it would best be experience this new mode in first hand. Would be my best way of being like, well, do I like it or do I not like it? So that's something I might wait a bit of time on and see if I do get the new system, just to be like, yeah, this is actually kind of cool, because it in concept sounds really neat and kind of works well with a Switch 2. But I think I would need to have a first-hand experience to really be like, yeah, this is rad, or is this kind of maybe could be a bit more developed. We'll see. The GameCube games are coming back to Nintendo Switch Online. Like, believe it or not, this to me was one of the biggest bits of the Nintendo Direct for me, because I love the GameCube. It's got cool games. It's so much nostalgia for me. I love it. Being able to play Luigi's Mansion, the original one, such an amazing announcement. Being able to play Wind Waker finally. And I'm really hoping that they actually bring the original Animal Crossing to Nintendo Switch 2. That would be awesome. And I'd love to get my hands on it and just experience how the series started. If they do bring it. If not, they'll be like, oh darn it. Because I still actually have my Wii, but I've rented it. I've lent it to my sister for a bit. But yeah. So that's one thing I do hope for, is cool games being added to GameCube Switch. We'll see. I think another highlight of this Direct is actually Kirby and Donkey Kong. Those remakes and new game look really clean and crisp. That's actually really awesome. So I think out of the two games, I would buy the Donkey Kong one, because it's a 2D Donkey Kong but now 3D, and I love the style of it. It looks just so clean and new, and I love it. And Donkey Kong just has this kind of silly, goofy kind of charm to him that I think is like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. I like the style. The gameplay looks cool, and I'm probably gonna pick it up. One thing they might actually talk about it later on is maybe UI and other kind of software that the actual console comes with. And I do hope that some of this information is clarified, because if it is really cool stuff, then I think that actually will be the selling point for me of getting the Nintendo Switch 2. Because right now it's still a little bit kind of vague and a bit kind of, well, is it just the UI of the Switch? Or is it going to be just that bit different that's going to really set it apart and make it quite fun and interesting? But otherwise, this was a Direct worth waiting for. I really enjoyed it. It had lots of cool announcements and lots of reasons to really look forward to the launch of the system. So I think this was a successful Direct, and I am really looking forward to what other new cool information they have in store for us. So that will do, my lovelies, and we'll catch you for another discussion video or another Let's Play video. So until then, cheerio!